To be a complete woman. This is what we are talking about, and last minute I decided, why don't I put some mascara on? Although I never do it because I am in Bali and everything is leaking over here. And we have 10 days, my humans, 10 days, 10 days, 10 days. Next week, we're gonna be together in person in 10 days or even 9. I think it may be even 9 days because I may have miscalculated some things. But we are together next week. Next week. So, who of you is excited? Inside of our Telegram group, I already feel the buzzing, the excitement. People are putting all different things into our collective pot, because when we are together, we are so powerful. So powerful we are. And today, I want to talk about being a woman. Being a woman. And when you are a woman, I don't know why am I singing. But when you are a woman, you cannot help but express your heart in all the ways, through body and through sound and through breath and through movement. And when you do you as a woman, when you really allow yourself to be a full woman, it inevitably impacts everyone. It impacts men. You know, whenever my work was exclusively for women, it's not anymore for many years. But when it was, I was always receiving this feedback from men who were sending me emails and telling me, thank you for changing my life. I'm like, yeah, I don't even know you. But he's like, because my woman has worked with you and she has changed and therefore my life has changed. And as women, we are initiatresses. But this word has been misused like so many other words, and we get to let go of the puritanistic approach and the sturdy, this is how things have to be, and know that, yeah, things will be misused, and it's also part of our experience. It's okay, things will be misused. Some people will be hurt because things are misused. It's also part of the experience. So, you know, but the word to initiate in a feminine way, the way feminine initiations happen, they really happen on such a subtle level. They do not happen because she is more powerful and women are currently more evolved than men, and that's why men need to go through the... No. Everyone is exactly where they're meant to be. There's no superior, no inferior, anything. And you can let go of all those victim stories. Anyway, whenever you come anywhere close to me, you have no choice. But recognize how powerful you are, how you create your reality in every given moment. And really, yeah, the biggest way how you create your reality is by being you. And having incarnated into this woman's body, this is a part of your supreme destiny, to really live as a full, complete woman. And the thing is, yesterday I was talking to my friend Yulia about this, that the whole feminine, like the women leaders, women CEOs, women who have a purpose, women who have a mission, all of that is pretty fresh in history. It's like 60 years or something like that. It's like 60 years that we're talking about these things, that women are in leadership positions. Like 60 years, it's nothing. So it hasn't been really massaged into the collective consciousness. And that's why so many women, there are not so many successful women actually in the world. Those who are tend to be very depleted and burnt out much of the time. And they are not happy in their lives oftentimes, and they feel like they have to compromise and choose either to be a stay-at-home mom and pour her love into her children, or impact the world and lead the way and be clear on the purpose. So these these conversations are very loud in the field currently, because a lot of women just like, they try to do the entrepreneur thing, and it seems like, okay, well, cool, let me have this financial freedom, but then maybe they come not exactly from the right place. And in that, because there's also no models of how to do that thing without abandoning yourself as a woman, then so many women experience like, it doesn't work for me, this whole business thing doesn't work for me, I don't want to do it, I feel like it's not right for me, let me go do something else. Can I just pray to have a rich husband who will take care of me? And then we go back to, step one, where you like trying to manifest from a place of scarcity, from a place of not enough, from a place of neediness. I cannot do this world. Can a man just come and save me? Basically. But this is all, stuff that needs to be resolved at the level of the father, and the level of how you were brought up, and how you've been brainwashed, how you've been conditioned. And so this thing of being a woman with a powerful purpose, that's where I find myself, and my why is so grandiose for what I do in this world. My why for my life is so big. Why I'm doing what I do, why I live this life, is because I want to be love. I want to be the divinity. I want every part of me to remember its divine nature, its divine origin, and be that love that I am. And within that, I am moved to do certain things. I am moved to be here with you live right now, and to be committed and dedicated to these lives, and no matter what's going on in my life. And therefore, I'm committed to run my events. That's why I'm doing Ecstatic Remembrance. Even though everything has changed from the moment when I decided that we're going to run Ecstatic Remembrance to the moment when it's now happening, so much has changed. Yet I am committed. I know the impact it's going to create. I know that when we are together, we are being loved together. And I know that the more I am me, the more I am love. The more I get out of the way, which is 28 days of surrender, well, that's what we're dedicating this time to really understand. How do you get out of the way? And when you get out of the way, what happens? You become love. That's what happens. And that's why surrender has been such a key theme of my entire conscious life. That's what it is all about. It's about being the love I was always meant to be, the love that you were always meant to be. And for me, these are not just words, not just some kind of concept. It's a lived, deeply cherished, deeply experience that I'm deeply, deeply dedicated to. And so this is, feminine path. And then from here, things fall into place. However, it's not easy. It's the hardest thing, because we think that when you experience pressure in life, when you have that purpose, when you have people who need something from you, when there is pressure that comes with holding a lot, with having a lot, with increasing your impact, with daring to be seen, with daring to show up for a purpose that you care about, with all of that, pressure gets amplified. And then we fall into an illusion, in fact, that we have to hold a lot. And when you start to try to hold a lot, you inevitably create headache or pain in the shoulders or in the lower back, and basically the body starts speaking to you, and there may be other things like emotional stress and tension and inability to be sexually open to your partner, inability to desire intimacy, inability to really open up to have pleasure because of so much stress, so much pressure, and so much of that idea that you have to hold a lot. What I discovered on my journey, and this journey is a deeply feminine journey, although deeply feminine journey doesn't mean that you do nothing. It actually involves doing a lot. Running a successful business involves doing a lot. Being clear on my purpose, showing up for every agreement I have, it involves doing a lot. However, there is a shift that every woman gets to make. And it's a very challenging shift because we do not have many models again. You know, we do not have, whenever you see people speak about femininity, oftentimes this kind of femininity seems to be possible only in some kind of like a remote, isolated place where there's no demands of life. Or it's also used for marketing purposes. Yeah, it's like, okay, you're the feminine, it's such a good idea, you know, you work on your sexuality, you work on your sensuality, you dance, you do this, but it's like, it's just, you know, it's like, it's just a life, it's just an idea of a lifestyle, it's not an embodied lifestyle. But what it means to be a full embodied woman and continue doing everything that you are truly moved to do from that place of surrender. So it's a massive, massive topic, you know, there's so much of my work is dedicated to unpacking it, but I wanted to bring that today, to give you a taste of what is possible, because this shift that takes place is where you understand that there's nothing for you to hold, that in fact you are held in it. And this is a shift in consciousness, this is a shift in your positioning, this is a shift in how you see reality. And this is a shift into actually being a woman and actually living this woman's life. Because until then, pleasure practices, like when I speak about the orgasmic aliveness, which is a very actual, real experience of my life and of my clients' lives, so many women look at it and they say, oh, I don't have time for it. Beloved, it's not another thing to do. It's not something you can do. It's actually a radical choice to be a woman. How interesting is that? How interesting is that? We came here, we incarnated into this woman's body that is so warm, that is so round, that is so, you know, it has this feminine know-how, this feminine way to move the energy. There's this feminine way to feel and to initiate through feeling. That's what I started speaking about in the very beginning. We initiate everyone around us, but how? You cannot initiate others if you're depleted and disconnected from your own natural, orgasmic, pleasure-filled, magnetic way of being. You cannot see your kids happy, you cannot see your partner happy because you are empty. They are demanding, they are nagging, they want something from you, he wants to have sex, and you were just like, how can I, you know, strategize to do this sex fast enough, or how can I learn some techniques to feel a bit better in this whole sex thing? But it's not about that. It's not about sorting out those little problems. It's about this complete qualitative shift of your life as a woman, of your life in this body, of how connected you are to this body, to how deeply do you dare to feel. Because in the disconnect from the feminine, with the traumas that we are growing up with the conditioning we are growing up with, there's this very natural, very normal human response to cope. And how do we cope? We cope by escaping into our mind. We cope by trying not to feel the tremendous fear that comes with living from the heart. It's freaking scary, because you will live in this open surrender, and guess what will happen sometimes? Yes, oftentimes it will bring such a delight to people, because the people you are attracting are a match to your frequency, and you will see that oftentimes there will be this, when you dare to be you, to live from you, from your true place, from your true heart, you will see that you attract people who are actually vibing in that place, and it's like nectar for them when they see you living that, you embodying that. It's like, oh my gosh, yes, that's where we meet, yes, yeah. And you will also experience the other side of it. You will experience getting hurt, my love. This is the price to pay. This is the price to pay for life of ecstasy, for life of bliss, of orgasmicness. Yes, you will get hurt. Promise. Pain is real. Cannot escape pain. Suffering is optional though. But I'm not gonna go into it just now. But so we therefore understand it because we're intelligent human beings. We understand that it may hurt, and so we are so not cool with being hurt because we did not learn how to cope with hurt, and so we develop coping strategies which take us out of the experience of fear, of pain, and they take us into our heads. And when we are a lot in the head, then you try to source your energy in your head. And in the previous session I was talking about this, what happens when we live in this depleted state from the head, then you just rely solely on coffee, on dopamine, on just like getting quick fix, like getting that rush of energy, instead of coming to the body and actually finding a sustainable source of energy in the body. But yes, it requires feeling. Yes, it requires you to stay with your fear. Yes, the fear of the little girl who was left alone and she didn't know when her parents are going to come and see her. Yes, that kind of fear. Fear of the unknown is exactly that fear that takes you into those places where you directly experience the pain of being dropped, the pain of being not worthy, of the pain of being not seen. So, and then of course, it creates those knots in the system. I don't like so much the blockages idea. Someone is writing here. I don't like to say that it's blockage, because then it sounds like it's something, that you can unblock. If it's blocked, then you cannot. But actually, it's not that you can unblock it. It's more there's this undoing of knots. And how I see life is that there's this continuous blossoming. It's the same for men. Just the metaphor is very feminine, but it works like this, that it's like you find yourself in this state of like, wow, I'm in a new qualitative state of my being. And then if you try to get fixed here, if you try to enter into control and you bring in your coping mechanisms that keep you in this control, like, okay, I've arrived, I feel so much more free in my body, I feel so much more free with how I deal with stress in life, I feel so much more free with how I manage my finances, I feel so much more at ease with how I organize people in my life, and how I hold my boundaries, and how I say no to things that don't work. And I'm like, okay, I'm in a good solid place. The moment you say that, forget it. There will be a whole next phase. And you will have to see that whatever you've created is already gone. It's already finished. And so then you go again through like a portal, and then again it opens into a whole other blossoming. And then again it's like, okay, wow, there's so much more. There's so much more to open my heart to. There's so much more to life. There's so much more to this freedom of how I express myself. There's so much more to how much I can feel and how I can initiate others by initiating myself into these feelings that are so scary oftentimes. And then you will feel like, oh my gosh, I'm in a good place. Look at me, I am all settled and life is like, wow, nice. And then boom, again, something will wake you up, because you cannot control this. You cannot get fixed, and you cannot like hold on to it. Then again, there will be something that you have to move through, and again, there's a blossoming. It's like this flower that continues blossoming and keeps opening in new ways. And that's how profoundly we are designed. And to live this feminine, to live as a woman, to live as a woman who does not abandon herself, who doesn't abandon her heart, we have to find something inside that will that will allow you to be held. And held not by a particular man who, it's oftentimes as women it's quite easy for us to delegate and to hope that it will be some man that will come and hold you, and then with that, or some kind of structure, or a team that will come and hold you and hold your vision, hold your bigness and so on. But it's like the opposite has to happen, is that you find that you are held already, and from there it's not so scary anymore. From there you can feel the fear, and still express and open the heart. Yes, it will all die and be reborn, and die and be reborn, and so it will continue. And this human journey is forever so vulnerable, and yet we get to love this vulnerability, and again remember that you are held. And you know, just recently my life has shaken up everything for me again. So many times it happened. Kali came and just brought up so much love, Kali's kiss. Yeah, our very first session of the 28 days of surrender is dedicated to her. And then I just see that what I am emerging into, it's the one I've always wanted to be. It's that love I've always wanted to be. And so this is the journey. Once you choose your supreme destiny so uncompromisingly, this blossoming will continue. And what are you blossoming into? Is your highest, most expressed version, is your most beautiful self. So let's come to standing together. I have some space. I'm going to have a meeting with my Fields of Grace people, participants in just a moment, so I prepared the space. We're going to do some body preparation practices. I have some space to actually stand with you, so let's do it together. Let's come to standing. Oh, and you get to see my pants that got repaired. And the pants, by the way, came from a beautiful woman who participated in my other immersion, and we do this ritual there called shedding skins, where we just shed skins, we shed parts, like our skins that we have outlived, and they are represented as clothes. And I received these. So, and recently I broke them when I was dancing, but they got fixed. In Bali, everything they're so sweet to me here, and they fixed my pants, and so now I get to see pants. So anyway, side note. So let's get into our wombs. If you're a man, practice as well. You also have an energetic womb. Like, you can drop into that and also connect to that inner capacity to feel, to go deep within into your feelings. Beautiful. So placing your hands over your womb. So placing the right hand over the womb, so you can more or less locate your womb, and then the left goes over it. And then we're gonna breathe into the womb and also activate the pelvis and activate the hips. So closing your eyes, deep breath in. We're gonna be here just for a couple of minutes. Just letting all your energy flow down from the head to the body, to the womb. Oh. Inhaling, feeling your womb fill up with life force. Exhale through your mouth, relax your jaw, relax your lips. Oh. Oh. And then continue with the sound and start to move your hips. You can move your hips in circles or from side to side, but just something that drops you down into your womb space. And here, just like, wow, you can feel here, feeling you as a woman, breathing deep into this womb space. Even if you don't have a physical womb, you still have the energetic womb, so this is perfect. And then here, just calling all parts of you as a woman. Calling everything you love about yourself as a woman. Parts that may have been abandoned and forgotten many, many years ago. Parts that you were connected to when you were a little girl or a young woman, a young adult. Calling all these parts to gather in your womb. Calling yourself back. Any part of yourself that you've given away, any part that you've abandoned in relationships where you didn't feel quite seen, collecting parts that you felt you had to sacrifice in order to show up for your children or in order to show up for other people. Calling back those women, calling all parts of you that you've never met, calling pieces of your soul to come and incarnate in this body so that you really can be living from this feminine fullness, resourced in yourself, in your body, in your being, in your heart. Calling forth anything that got disconnected from you as a cause of a trauma or a disease or a dysfunction, or from an incredible shock, from an accident. Calling back all the different parts of you. Inhale, with exhale, call yourself back into the body, back into the womb. Big inhale, with exhale again, a calling, a longing, a coming home. And just literally visualizing, seeing how all the parts of you that have been somehow lost for some reason, they're all coming and landing into your womb. From here, just give yourself this experience of being held. Anything that's going on in your life, any energy, people who demand something from you, that wait from you, to hear from you, circumstances that need your attention, anything, everything, all the joy of your life, all the relationships, all the friendships, feel all of that as energy all around you. And as you continue to move your hips to sound, you feel yourself held. And you can simply relax into it as all the different parts of you are landing into the body, into the womb. You are at the same time being held. And you can let go, and you can let go of pressure, you can let go of push, you can let go of the patterns that you feel like you've accumulated and that are not yours. And you can stay here a little bit longer, and I have to unplug and go into my next meeting. And may this time together serve the return of the feminine grace on this planet, because she is the foot and foundation of the entire creation. She is the blossoming lotus. She is the jewel. She is the diamond. And we are so blessed to embody her, to be close to her, to be touched by her. And she lives within you, beautiful woman, every woman. And as a man, she is all around you. Recognize her, cherish her, nurture her, love her, because she is here to give us all our life back.